I'm going to show you how to set up a full crop farm in Oritech. We're going to start this from scratch, and everything used here will be from Oritech, apart from power. If you're not sure how to generate power in Oritech, check out the rest of my tutorials. So, it's going to look a bit like this, and we can do any crop with it. It's probably one of the best and most awesome crop farms I've ever seen in modded Minecraft. I am a true Oritech fan. The first thing we're going to need, or at least the first thing I like to place, is a destroyer block. This is the item that is going to be basically destroying your crops. And what we're going to use here is some machine cores. So place it down and then keep right clicking and you'll get this. And when you keep right clicking it, you'll see it says missing frame. Add an empty rectangular frame behind the machine using machine frame blocks. So what we're going to make here is machine frames. It says the max length is 64 times 64. So can you see here, if I just wait for this to go, there's a little frame poking out. So on that block, place your frame. Now, if I just do it, let's say like this, it will say missing frame. And you'll say, no, it isn't. I can see the frame. What you've done wrong here is that you need to make it like this. So take that off and have it coming out like that. So you basically can't have your machine on the end, is what I'm getting at here. I'll make a fairly small one, actually, I think, for this tutorial. So there we go. So this one will work. The way it works with any of these frame blocks is it will always destroy the block beneath. So here's the frame. It's going to destroy this layer right here. But we don't want it to destroy our crops that aren't fully grown yet. So what we get is a crop add-on, a crop filter add-on. And we can place that on this blue plug here, 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 or here. So I'm just going to shift right click it on. It's a crop filter add-on, meaning that it will only destroy fully grown crops. If we go into our destroyer block, we can see here it has 4 slots. This is where you will get the output of your farm. We need to also power it. And here you can see the machine quality you've used, which determines how many layers of add-ons will be added. For this, honestly, you don't really need layers of add-ons. I would just use the crop filter add-on, so it doesn't really matter what machine core quality you use to build it. What we're then going to do is power it. Like I said, I'm just going to use mechanisms, creative, but you could just hook it up to your power network from wherever. I'm going to power it under here, for example. So if your power network is Oritech, then use Oritech. And you just can put it up with pipes. I'm then also going to use energy pipes from Oritech to transfer my power around here. So just connect it to your power grid, basically, is what I'm saying. And what that's going to do is it's going to start destroying the blocks underneath. And you can add speed add-ons if you like, but once your farm's set up, your farm's set up. So, you know, it's not really a big deal. And you're going to want to hoe this yourself. This is the one manual bit you will be doing here. When it's broken these, you're going to want to go around and hoe the soil. I wouldn't do it just yet, but I'm just showing you that you need to do that. So we've broken the blocks and we've set up our farmland. The next thing I would do is getting a water source. If you have cooking for blockheads in your mod pack, I would get one of their sinks. They are the best water sources usually in modded Minecraft, and it's an unlimited free water source. But if you're using Oritech, then it's going to be a pump here. Let's say that we found some water nearby, or you could just get a bucket or two of water. And what I'm going to do, and you can put this anywhere on your frame, by the way. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and go 1, 2, 3 with that. I'm going to place a dirt block there, and then place the pump above the water. I then need to power the pump. So I'm just going to add some energy pipes, and then a creative energy cube. There we go. We've powered our pump. And can you see it's pumping the water from beneath it? What we're then going to do is get a water pipe, otherwise known as a liquid pipe, fluid pipe, of course, and just attach that to our pump to here. What we're then going to do is get a fertilizer block and place it. If I place it here, can you see just like the block destroyer, it's got a little frame icon? So place it there, so that it attaches to your frame. You can add as many machines to your frame as you'd like. Fluid pipe attaches, nothing in there. Empty hand, right click the end of the pipe, and it'll automatically start extracting from your pump. And suddenly you have a full fertilizer water pipe. It will also need power. Let's run a power cable down here. And there we go. What this is going to do, can you see it's added a second frame with a little water bucket? So it's going to go across and around. Now you can fertilize all your all of your soil. And as you can see, it's going to start hydrating all of the soil for you so that it stays, well, hydrated, funnily enough. So make sure you don't trample it. There we go. That's going to hydrate it all for you. So all you've got to do yourself is hoe it. In the fertilizer block, we can also pipe in, you don't have to, but we can pipe in bone meal into this item slot. When our crops are there, it would then actually put in the bone meal. If we want to fully automate this, then I'm going to get a chest, and I'm going to place it here. I'm going to get an item pipe, place that on here, place that, yeah, we'll do it there. Empty hand, right click, so it's pulling from the chest into the fertilizer, and have your bone meal, you know, wherever it's coming from. That's going to then push the bone meal into here. So we've automated the fertilizer for fertilizing it and watering our soil. The only thing you might come up against is that some of the dirt may go back to dirt because it's taken too long to get around with the fertilizer. So just make sure that you go in with your hoe again and re-hoe those blocks. Obviously, once they're all hydrated, you should be pretty much fine because your crops are going to be on here. This is just a bit of an issue when you're first setting up the farm. Before we get into the video, thank you so much to G-Portal for sponsoring this video. You can get Minecraft or a plethora of other games on their library here through their game cloud system, meaning you can buy as much RAM as you need for, say, a Minecraft server, and if you've got any left over or you want to add more, you can add other servers from different games into your game cloud and switch them out throughout the month as you wish. They have servers all over the world, as you can see here, and give you protection from DDoS attacks, 24/7 support, databases, and the server is immediately online. If you're looking for a specific mod pack in Minecraft, you can simply search it up, like our Patreon server, which we host on RLcraft. You can see it also recommends how much gigabytes you need. I, as a content creator of a community, need to make sure that it's a company I can trust, and my server runs beautifully, better than even running it myself, and I have a lot of experience in running servers. So if you want 10% off your first order with G-Portal, check out the link in my description, and don't forget you can always join the Patreon to support the channel, and also join the Patreon-only RLcraft server. So now what we need to do is actually add in our crops. So we're going to be using a placer block. We've got the breaker block, but we're not actually placing anything. So again, you place it and you can see the frame attached. So place it so it attaches to your frame. It needs power, of course. I'm just going to shove that under there. And now it's got power. Same thing again. What I'm going to do is add an item pipe. And in fact, no, I'm not. Well, I am, but not yet. I'm going to fill this with seeds. Here. That's then going to start planting or placing those seeds. And then what we're going to see in our destroyer block. Now, before that even, sorry. Can you see that here, the fertilizer one is fertilizing it with the bone meal? Can you see all those little sparkles? It's going around, it's watering the blocks, making sure they're kept hydrated, and it's also going to keep fertilizing them. You could even add another fertilizer. If you had a huge frame and it's not really doing it fast enough, just add another one. You can add unlimited amounts of machines onto these frames. So if it's not going fast enough, add speed upgrades, or just add more onto the frame. It's completely up to you. But eventually, what's going to happen is we're going to get some wheat, etc. You can see you've got the dirt in here. This is where it's broken, all of this dirt on the top layer. You can just take that out because that dirt is only going to be broken once. After that, it's going to fill up with wheat and seeds, of course. So I'm just going to hurry things along here just to show you. It'll make sense why I'm doing this in a second. The block breaker will then break any full-grown crops. Because you've got the crop filter on, it will ignore crops that are not fully grown. And they will all automatically go into the inventory here. I'm then going to set up another chest. And I'm going to put that one here. What I'm then going to do is get an item filter from Oritech and click it onto my chest here. I'm then going to get one and put it onto my placer block. And then I'm going to get some item pipes. And this is to make sure that this farm is fully automated. And I'm going to right-click it onto my block breaker and onto the chest and onto the placer block. On the placer block, I'm putting whitelist. And obviously, if you're doing potatoes, etc., it would be that. I'm whitelisting seeds. Right-click on this pipe to extract. And then on the item filter here, it will be wheat. If we look in the chest, our harvested wheat has gone in here. Now, interestingly, on my placer block, it doesn't seem to want to let the wheat seeds go in via item pipe. I'm not sure if that's a bug or anything. Interesting. It will go into the filter, but not the placer block. I do believe it's an issue with the filter, maybe a bug in the mod. I've just tried it with, if you see there's 18 wheat seeds in here, if I take these seeds out of here, I'm not saying it definitely is, but what I am saying is that when I add a mechanism pipe and I put in one seed, just to make sure that it doesn't end up clogging up with any other rubbish that we don't want. All right, let's use a few. Let's say I put 16 seeds in there. If I then pull from here, there's 44 seeds in there. See, it's going up. So mechanism pipes that are pulling do seem to go into the block placer. I'm not sure why that won't work. Bizarre. Oh, and as you just saw, I broke my frame. Just place another frame block to fix it. It will be absolutely fine. So what I would do here, guys, if you do want to use Oritech, it's working with the wheat on the item filter going into this chest. Just not the other one with the filter. So I have fixed it by just pulling, by right-clicking here, and the seeds are going in. It just didn't seem to work through the filter. So I think because it's going to be putting seeds in here faster than it's going to be placing them, you should never have a problem with this setup. But just one small thing there to be careful of. But there you go. You have an automated crop farm, and obviously this will work for all crops. You can have the block placer place saplings, but where this is only going to break the block below, it will only obviously break the log that is like at the bottom there, and it won't break the rest of the logs higher up. So that doesn't really work. What I would do in that instance is use a block placer from a different kind of mod or something. And there is a tree cutter which will just cut the entire tree in front of it from Oritech. So you can have a much simpler setup if you do want a tree farm. You just have to place the blocks in a different way or have a 1x1 frame and a tree cutter in front sort of thing. So we've got the pumping water into the fertilizer and the bone meal coming in from this chest. Obviously, you have to get your bone meal from somewhere else in your system. That's going to fertilize, and you don't have to have bone meal in here. It can just hydrate them. You don't have to have the bone meal in, just as an FYI. We've got the placer block automatically placing our wheat seeds, and they're coming back in from the destroyer block, and we're filtering the wheat or your beetroot, your potatoes, whatever it is you're doing, into your output chest, wherever it is it's going. And there we go. You have now mastered Oritech's farming crops.